Good morning. Happy Monday, December 19th. So what's going on in this great big world of ours? Well, last week, the National Archives has released about 13,000 files on the assassination of President Kennedy. Wow, that was over 59 years ago in 1963, and just think of all the conspiracy theories that have been flying around since then. Maybe this will help satisfy some of those things. The other thing is COVID testing. We can now get more COVID tests for us because they know that we're going to be socializing in the next couple of weeks, and that means COVID will go up again like it has for after Thanksgiving. And the other thing is, at the bottom of the screen here, ooh, what's that number? Kids, listen up.
Merry Christmas! This is Santa Claus, and you have reached my personal hotline.
Let's get to today's topic. So the HMO stands for Health Maintenance Organization. This is where the insurance companies originally get together with providers, and you select a primary care provider, and all your health care is supposed to be funneled through the primary care provider. Originally, the HMO was you pay a premium, and then with the exception of maybe a small copay, the providers were responsible for really 100% of your health care. So, what are some of the pros of being in an HMO? Well, they're budget friendly. They're cheaper, plain and simple. Lower monthly costs, hopefully lower out-of-pocket costs, lower prescription costs if your plan includes prescriptions, less paperwork, and one doctor, your primary care doctor, did all your coordination of benefits. So that sounds pretty good, but what are some of the disadvantages to an HMO? Well, you're limited to your in-network provider unless it's an emergency, okay? Emergencies are always the exception. You can't use out-of-network. If you do, you pay 100% of that. To see a specialist, you have to go through your primary care doctor for that referral. If your doctor is not in the network, you'll have to switch to a doctor in-network. And the HMO may require less expensive forms of treatment for certain procedures. So if you weigh the advantages and the disadvantages of an HMO and you decide that's best for you, hey, great, we're happy about that. So now, what is a preferred provider organization, or PPO? A per provider organization, as I said in the past, is typically what people like when they have more healthcare issues. A preferred provider organization, though, there's more cost sharing that's associated with that, usually higher deductibles, higher percentages, but you can go out of network for a reduced cost. So with a preferred provider organization, like an HMO, the insurance companies get together and ask these doctors to sign a contract that pre-negotiates pricing if they're in the network. So, what are some of the pros of being in a PPO? Well, with the PPO, you have greater freedom to see doctors of your choice, specialists of your choice, providers like hospitals of your choice. You don't need referrals to go to a specialist. Those are some pretty good pros to a PPO. What are the cons of a PPO? Well, one of the big cons to a PPO is PPOs are usually more expensive than HMOs. That's always a factor. Generally, you have higher deductibles, higher co-insurance, higher out-of-pockets than HMOs, and you may have to pay for services at a higher rate when you're out of network with a PPO. So these are all some of the things that we've talked about in the past. It doesn't matter. I don't care what they say, no matter if you have an HMO or a PPO, you stay in network. That's where prices are pre-negotiated, and you don't have to worry about a bill being a lot higher than what the insurance company says, and you're trying to pick up that difference. Stay in network. And nowadays, a lot of the PPOs, thank you Affordable Care Act, are functioning like HMOs by saying if you go out of network, no coverage. The other thing is HMOs are now functioning a lot like PPOs. They are having higher deductibles, higher co-insurance percentages, so the blending of an HMO and PPO is kind of like this. They're crossing a lot of lines together. Thank you, Affordable Care Act. That distinction is less and less today. But one of the big distinctions that I have seen between the HMOs and the PPO is the size of the network. An HMO may be about the size of a golf ball. A PPO may be about the size of a beach ball, as an example. So even if you're in a PPO, you stay in network, but you'll have a much greater selection of doctors and hospitals available to you. Let's talk about specialists for just a second here. HMO, you need to coordinate everything through your primary care provider. PPO, maybe not. But that specialist that you want freedom of choice to see may not see you without that referral from your primary doctor. So keep that in mind if you think you want to see a specialist. Here are a few pictures of people who came into the office this week and were able to get their insurance squared away with us for next year. So it's just 6 days till Christmas. I hope you've got your shopping done. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas season. Remember the true reason for Christmas. And I think I'm going to put up a picture. I play in my church. We have an orchestra, and I play a baritone in the orchestra. It's a lot of fun. Maybe you have something fun that you do for Christmas. If you send me a picture, I might post it next week. Till then, have a Merry Christmas, and remember the true reason for Christmas.